Another week in the books of the best fantasy football league, the best dynasty fantasy football league you will find around the Just Beavin podcast back here to break it all down for you, Andy, JP, the Beav himself. Guys, a lot to unpack from week three, like there is every week. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of exciting matchups for week four. I know I have quite a few comments on my behalf for week three. But more or less, man, just happy to be back on the pod. And JP, will start with you and obviously transition to Drew. Our Bears came out with a win on Sunday, and man, did they look good.
Yeah, it was extremely fun to watch. My girlfriend was traveling back from Champaign that day, and she walked in and like probably 30 minutes before game start, and she sat down to recap the, her night out from before. And immediately as that happened, Tyreek Stevenson stripped Javonte Williams, and I was absolutely ballistic. And there was probably 5 or 6 times where I just went nuts, and then would have to like sit down, gather myself, then be like, okay, so let's pick up
Continue.
where we left off because I got really into that game, and I've been telling people at school that I just have not been. I'm obviously always into them, but I haven't been yelling. I haven't been standing up, getting fired up at the TV, because it's so repetitive, and the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting different results, and it's so taxing every time with this team. But there was something in that game Sunday that really gave me. And I tell my girlfriend all the time, hope is a dangerous word.
It
And for the
is
first time in a long time, I've hope. And that game
good,
was awesome.
good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good gets better, your better gets
And your better
best.
gets best. Come
Quote
Hey,
on,
let
Mike
me
baby.
Johnson. That's
let me let
crazy.
me tell you,
Oh,
man,
Beef,
that
hit me.
flea flicker was amazing.
Almost
You
screwed
know,
up. Almost screwed
just
up.
like
DeAndre
DeAndre,
Swift.
hey, just like he said, I don't know if you guys saw his mic tape. He said, "Yeah, man, I just threw that back like a free throw." And I
Well,
start,
okay. I don't think, well, the pitch was bad, but it's because he ran it too far
oh
back.
yes,
He
yes,
waited too long
absolutely.
to throw it
I,
back, which is
I in,
why the pitch was
so
bad.
you guys will laugh at this. I initially thought he fumbled the ball. Like I literally thought he fumbled it, and
I yelled, "What is he doing?" And then I saw Kayla, and it's so different from when you because when I went back and watched the all 22. It's so funny because Luther is so unbelievably wide open, but you don't get that on the camera angle. So all of a sudden, as we see Swift pitch it back, and Caleb just and he didn't even really load. I mean, he just took his and chucked that ball
Yeah.
55 yards in the air, sick. But and then they pan to it, and Luther's wide open. All he's got to do is put one little move on the safety who dove early at him, and man,
Good to
man,
see
it
the
was
rookies get
awesome.
involved. Everything was put together. Fantastic. And it leads into what we had in Beaverfest week three and plenty of things to go over.
uh,
It was North versus South week, guys, meaning,
can't wait to go over this.
yeah, whoever won more matchups between the old division formation of North versus South gets draft hosting rights for the 2026 Beaverfest rookie draft. And JP, unfortunately, it was not the North that came out on top.
Yep, it was not, and TBD on where the draft will be hosted. Things are still getting sorted out, and the ball's been passed to the Southern delegate, and they elected Matt in last year's elections to represent them in the Council of Beaverfest, and so that is in his department, and he can work with his constituents. And of course, Matt, you can always reach out to your brother-in-law, and I'll help you out, but. Yep. So leading off that though, I want to go over our records from last week. Well, we all went 4-3. We all took the same people to win and lose was the problem, and maybe it was a little biased. I think I even said when picking Andy and Cam's game that I really wanted to pick Cam, but I still picked Andy. And anyway, so we all went 4-3. Everyone chose me. I won. Everyone chose Andy. Andy lost. Everyone chose Drew. Drew lost. Everyone chose Brady. Brady lost. Everyone chose Ty. Ty won. Everyone chose
Bro,
Zippy. Zippy won, and everyone chose Frankie, and Frankie won. So we
this
went 4-3, and so now our records are. Me and Andy are now sitting at, I believe it's 15-6. Let me check my
That's not
notes.
bad, man. That is not
15
bad.
and 6, and
Not
Drew is
bad.
sitting at 14-7. So only one game back for Drew.
Good work, boys. That's not bad. I mean, only 3 weeks in, but That is certainly not bad. It can always be a lot worse than that. Where are we going to start here with recapping the North versus South week
We
in
will
this
kick it off with the
2025
brother-in-law
yearly season?
battle.
All right. JP, you came out on top. Both of you guys undershooting your projections, but wins are wins at the end of the day, and we'll find that out later when we get Jacob Zaparo as our guest here for this episode. You got the floor, man. It was your matchup.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to get a win. And like you mentioned, you're never going to be upset with how you get a win. You just want to see the win. The real problem lies with Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison, Brock Bowers, and Justin Jefferson. I circled them in the last episode and said that it was going to be a problem, and that problem is persisting. I'm worried. I really am. And I'm not sure what to do because
Can
these guys are supposed to be my league winners. My team is supposed to be loaded because of that young core right there. And when they're not putting up numbers, I'm not loaded. I'm just your run of the mill solid team with guys who can boom or bust. I'm a boom or bust team. And I traded guys like Devontae Smith and DK Metcalf long ago and Devontae Adams to get the boomer bust guys off. I want the consistent guys who are always going to give me 12 to 26. That's what's going to win. I don't want the week to week. Got to pray that Devontae Adams finds the touchdown. Got to pray that Tyreek Hill gets in the end zone. Got to pray that Terry McLaurin catches a deep ball. I wanted the consistent guys. Last year, Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver 4, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver 2, Brock Bowers, tight end 2. That's the stuff I need, and we're not getting it right now. And now Derrick Henry, 2 weeks in a row, scored what 2 points last week, has 12 or 10 this week, I believe. It's a problem. It's becoming a problem, and I'm starting to get worried. I'm not sure what to do. I was texting my group chat earlier, and I'm having lineup problems because I just don't know what to do. I'm not happy with 147. I've been projected 170 every single week. I've only hit that once, and the last 2 weeks have been bad. Sorry to ramble, but it's been a
No,
frustrating two
it's your matchup,
weeks.
man.
It's been a frustrating 2 weeks, and I'm really tempted to fire sale. I really am because I love the draft. It's why I love Dynasty so much. But it's been really frustrating, and I'm so happy I own Lamar Jackson because I'm not sure what I would do without him.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, this is a safe space. We're all gonna. I have a lot to say about my matchup this week, so don't you worry.
I don't, so you can go right ahead.
I was gonna say all I got on this matchup. You talk about league winners, JP, and everyone in the redraft league cycle and the redraft talks. It mentioned Jordan Mason a lot, and man, with the Aaron Jones injury, that is huge for you having that guy in your backfield, just enough for you to get the job done. On that side, there's more room for concern there. Another week undershooting his projection. Cortland Sutton, Geno Smith showed up to the party, something those guys have not done in the early going this season. And it's safe to say Jamar Chase's season in a fantasy perspective, well, in general as well, but especially in a fantasy perspective, is very much in jeopardy with how piss poor Jake Browning played against Minnesota. That game was terrible. So that's all I got, Beef.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. You know, what was I gonna say here? My mind blank. Oh, I just want to say, JP, I am getting a little concerned about Marv. That drop was one of the worst drops I've seen in a long time. That
yeah,
one,
I've watched
why,
it a lot. It's been all over my feed.
and I don't want to, because I'm not even gonna get into that, but yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, Brian Thomas, he looks scared. I mean, that I just remember from watching Red Zone last weekend. He literally had a touchdown, and he was scared to jump up and get the ball because someone was trying to hit him. So I'm like, it's just crazy. But no, good week for you. I really want to say this about Matt's team real quick, boys. I'm really concerned about his QB play. I'm, I mean, T Law. I mean, he just looks like he doesn't respect Liam Cohen out there. Like,
Eight drops
yeah,
Jacksonville had, dude. That's crazy. They
and
lead
I
the
don't.
they lead the league right now. It's by like 13 drops. It's insane.
So I don't know if T Law actually likes Cohen or if that's just how they communicate. Like, I don't. Because like that locker room that he had, I don't know if you guys saw that locker room video. It looked electric. It looked as just as good as ours with Ben Johnson. But I mean, him and Cohen are always beefing at each other on the sideline. It just looks like I don't know. And then Bryce, I mean, they won 30-0 this week, but I mean, he only had 11 points. I mean, nothing special. I mean, Gino, he looked good, but I mean, it was just a bunch of garbage points. So I mean, is he gonna put that up every week? I don't expect that, but I'm really concerned about Matt's QB play here.
Yeah, well said. There's one more thing I just want to touch on with Matt's team because I kind
Go
of
for it.
just ranted about mine. The same exact thing you said about Chase, I'm starting to feel that way with Kamara. Rattler is not scared to play quarterback anymore, and I know they're getting killed, and I'm sure Shug's checking in here soon, I'd imagine. But he's not checking it down to Kamara. And Kamara has always been a relatively inefficient runner. It's never been his game, never had 1,000 yards, always 1,800 all purpose, but never had 1,000 yards rushing. If he's not getting passes, he's not fantasy relevant, unfortunately, because that is where he makes his money in the fantasy world, and it's starting to get worrisome with Kamara. And if Rattler keeps that job, I'm not sure Kamara is worth what he paid for him. To your benefit, Andy.
Yeah, well, it's not like I got a good end of that deal either. We'll talk more about Brees Hall later on. But yes, good points. Good points to be made. And all right, here we go. The big dogs, Jack and the Rippers, two highest scoring teams this week, guys. And we've learned that this is just how the cookie crumbles. I'm not disappointed with how my group. I mean, all right, I'll preface. Not disappointed with the group effort. Are there guys I'm expecting more from? Absolutely. I think you can make that claim pretty much every week. There's no such thing as a perfect fantasy week. This is our highest scoring outcome of the season. We were the second highest scoring team in the league this week. We are the second highest scoring team in the league this season. And here we sit 1-2, two losses being a 5-point loss in week one after a tough start sit decision on my end. And here losing by 20 simply because Cam Boyer's team was just better than mine and better than everybody's this week. Jake Ferg is a problem in a good way. Man, he is just getting force fed targets. I mean,
Dude, they during our
you,
broadcast,
yeah,
it was Tom Brady was like, "No, like don't come out, Ferguson, don't come out. They're force feeding you."
yeah,
And Ferguson is like gasping for air, calling for a sub. I was like, then they show
dude,
his stats. It's like 11 catches for only like 68 yards. I'm
yeah,
like, oh my
you
gosh,
look at the final. He caught in 13 of the 14 balls that were thrown his
insane.
way for 82 yards. If you click on him for the season, man, that has been. I mean, this entire year he has been getting
Yeah,
really good opportunities. 12 targets in week two, six. I mean, and the
Yeah.
snap. And think about it, week three, that's 57% snap percentage
wow,
too. I mean,
Ferguson's
that's
only 26. Wow.
yeah, that's maddening. So I mean, I was offered a lot of tight end trades in the offseason. My league members really wanted Jake Ferguson. There's a reason why I held on to him. Happy with him. Good to see Devonta Smith bounce back. Finally seeing Philly air it out a bit. Puka's doing Puka things. Puka's been an awesome addition to this team. Keenan Allen continues to turn back the clock. Very happy I held on to him and trusted that process. We have a problem at quarterback. That is official. Russell Wilson has been benched for Jackson Dart. We're gonna
Stupid.
have to figure that out. It's unfortunate.
Danny Dimes on the block. Kyler Murray's on the block.
We're gonna have to make some moves. Running back depth is pretty brutal on my end as well. And then speaking about running backs, I am worried about Brees Hall pretty
DeAndre
significantly.
Swift's on the block.
We'll talk. We'll talk. But I am worried about Brees as well. If you scroll up, he this back to back weeks he has not been in double digit touches or double digit points as well. I did have double digit touches this week, and yeah, I mean overall, like I said at the top, always going to want better, always going to expect better from certain guys. But if you put up 160, I'm expecting to win most of those games. So it's just a bit frustrating right now. Thankfully, we have Wade coming up on the schedule this week, so we'll get back to tune two. But definitely not a fun loss, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Go ahead,
you
JP.
got
You're
your
good. No, you're good. You're good.
Yep.
Okay. Just real quick. So your thoughts, boys. So now that Russ got benched, do we see him going to Cincinnati, or is that since he's on that 1 year deal, or what do you guys think?
I think if any Giants quarterback goes to Cincy, it's going to be Jameis.
Jameis. They need someone who can win them games, not manage it,
Okay.
because they
I,
need
I
to be in the playoffs when Burrow comes back.
I would agree, and I want to say on Cam's side real quick, it's Jonathan Taylor season. I mean, back-to-back weeks of 30 points. I believe he had 31 in week two, I believe. Great showing by him. And I want to ask your opinion on this for Cam's side as well. Are we officially worried about DK Metcalf, or are we feeling okay? He's been consistent with 10, 11, and 12, but he's just not fine. He found the end zone, I believe, week two, but I mean, he's just not getting the receptions. He's not getting the yards. What do you guys think?
I mentioned it in my own recap. That is why I traded DK Metcalf. He can boom for 26 one week, and then if you take away that touchdown, what's he have? I think it was like a 4 yard touchdown. So you take that away, and he has two catches for 28 yards. That's 4.8 points. That's terrible. And
Yeah.
that's exactly why I dumped DK because DK can win you a league and he can lose you a week every single time. And
Yeah.
I don't like those kinds of players, and I understand why people do. People love those spike weeks. Devontae Smith's another one, right across from DK. Pittman used to be another one, and now Indiana Jones is the GOAT. But yeah, I've always been worried about DK fantasy wise. He's a good receiver in real life, but I've always been worried about him in fantasy.
That's all I got. Throw it to you, JP.
The last thing I wanted to say was that exactly what you said. Jonathan Taylor will finish this season as the RB1. Not only does he look good and is super efficient, they're throwing him passes. And Danny
Yeah.
Dimes he's a vet, so he knows when to check it down. And Shane Steichen's an offensive genius. I'm so happy he's getting his flowers because I've pounded the table for him. I made a post over the summer when I was doing my power rankings and had them down at 24. And I think I literally, when everyone else was low on them, so cut me some slack here, but I think I literally ended the post with Shane Steichen will be the OC somewhere next year because he is that good of a play caller. And I'm happy Daniel Jones has resurfed his career. And the other thing I want to mention is that Jawan Johnson may genuinely be a league winner. I have him in all my redraft leagues. I picked him up immediately after week one, spent fab on him in multiple leagues. It is insane how many targets this guy already has through 3 weeks. It's mind boggling. But good win for Boyer. Great 2 weeks for Boyer. I believe he's now 2-1, and I'm gonna harp on this every week as we go along in the show. Huge divisional win now, as we are now moving into the more division focused schedules. This is a big win for Cam Boyer, and I believe this matchup will resurface again later on the schedule for part two of the Big Dogs and Jack the Rippers.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Tip of cap to Boyer. It's a good week, and you love weeks like that. You hate weeks like this. If you're the Beaver, a narrow loss to his good friend
Bro.
Lucas Hunley, the farmer himself. Drew, this is your floor, man.
Bro, it just pisses me off because
I
I
want to
mean this is
preface real
gonna
quick. Drew said he didn't have much to say, so we'll see if he holds
no,
true.
I'm gonna get into it now because it fucking just pissed me off again. It just blows my mind that we're up by 17, us Bears. And George Pickens throws a fucking hissy fit because it looks like he got locked out of the fucking daycare playpen and he has to go back on the field and he wasn't even supposed to be on the field. He catches the pass from Milton, then he runs off the field and he gets yelled at for being on the field. I immediately text JP and said, "Is this really how I'm going to lose?" And then the worst part is that I was looking back at my team. One CD got hurt on a jet sweep that he shouldn't even been running. I don't even know why that was even a play design that we even gave him. I mean, what the hell are we even thinking? Secondly, I just thought of that if Javonte Williams never got stripped,
Same with Nico Williams. Or Nico
uh,
Collins. What the hell, Nico
so
Williams?
you
Sorry.
have so this is what else makes me so mad. Yeah, Nico Collins fumble, Javonte Williams fumble, Jalen Hurts fumbled this week. Let's see, I think someone else fumbled. Yeah, Mike Evans didn't stretch properly
Get
because
hurt. Yeah.
he had a hammy injury. Let's see. I think someone else fumbled. You had
Evans is
Ashton.
guys. He's in jeopardy of not getting 1,000 yards for what is it, 11 straight years now. I
Yeah,
don't think he's going to get it now.
I don't either.
Oh, we forgot to talk about my biggest sleeper of the year, Calvin Ridley. He forgot to take his cane away for the week. He forgot to put it on the bench.
One of seven.
He
Jeez.
looks god awful
Three
out there.
drops.
Hey, thanks for
Awful.
that trade, Drew. I don't think I've
That's
played Darnell
awful.
Mooney once,
I mean,
but
Darnell Mooney looks like a fucking sack of shit too, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, oh my god, the Cubs fucking suck. Anyways,
did we lose?
we just gave a home run. But anyways, back to the story. You know, it just makes me so upset because Jalen Hurts is the QB5 right now. Williams looks great. I mean, for fantasy wise, I mean, I know we're 1-2, but he's a QB3 right now. I mean, it's mind-boggling that he's only projected 16 points against Vegas. I mean, Vegas's defense has looked atrocious, and he's only projected 16 points. Yes, I would let him, I'm not even going to get into that. Okay, let's exit out of this. My biggest concern for my team, though, is that if Genti does not have 15 plus points this week, I'm going to start hitting the panic button. And yes, I know he's only a rookie, and that Las Vegas line is
Oh, I'm
awful.
sorry.
No, you're good. Is awful. I mean, the Bears' rush defense is just awful. So bad. I mean, if he's not getting holes and he's not getting big gains this week, I'm officially going to be very scared for him this rest of the season. I don't know what you boys have to add, but that's it. And I still can't believe CD Lamb got hurt. It was out the whole. He was
Yeah,
literally going to have
that
30
sucks,
points.
man. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
I
sure
mean,
it
not
does
for us
suck.
Bears
Yeah, you
fans,
go ahead and
but
say that. Yeah, I'm sure it
I
does
do it.
suck.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I lost by a point, I would be pretty pissed that my best player's not in the
Oh, and
fray.
it's not even just a fucking point. It's the fucking blow me fucker right now and get one more catch in 30 seconds.
JP, can you scroll up for a sec? Just want
Yeah,
to see
of
the
course.
projections wise what these guys were sitting at
It
entering week
doesn't.
3.
I don't think
Oh
it
no, it doesn't show
shows.
it.
Oh, it shows right here. It'll show right here. Oh no, I don't know where it shows. I just know that Drew was projected to win by like 23 points or something.
Yeah, I know Luke was definitely emoting on Drew in chat. I mean, yeah,
Oh
Drew,
my
you pretty
god,
much hit
man.
everything on your side.
Bro,
It's a good.
he's
It's
literally
a
acting like a 14-year-old fucking freshman in high school right now is what he's doing. And he's literally acting like my 16-year-old brother right now. It's just driving me insane. He's like, "Oh, you want a pack of Skittles, buddy? Here you go. I bet you by 1 point. Here you go." I mean, like, gee, go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry.
no, it's you got it. I mean,
Oh
yeah,
god.
the only real dud on Luke's side is Judy. That's really it, man. Everyone else at
Dude,
least kind of
oh, hold
somewhat
up.
came to play.
I have to. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have to. His team is so bad. His flex options are so bad, bro. Jerry
Dude,
Judy
Chico Kaku went
had
for 15.
15, bro. He is on the worst team in
Oh
the
man.
league. He had
Wow.
15 points, bro. He's never going to see 15 points in his life
Bro,
ever
Olave had
again.
14 targets.
14 targets, and they lost by 30. 30. They lost by 30.
Oh, this is good
My
stuff.
favorite text in our group chat today. Let's not ramble on the recaps.
I'm sorry.
No, I love this. No, everything about this.
This is a great rant, Drew. I just wanted to jump in and say that Chip Kelly talking about load management for Ashton Genty has to be one of the all-time coach comments ever. Chip Kelly's a freaking moron. I don't know what Pete Carroll was thinking. He sucked when he was in the NFL. The offense didn't even look that good at Ohio State last year until the playoffs. That has to be the only reason he got this job. And then for Luke's team, congrats. ETN looked mid. Fields is hurt. Yeah, you got fleeced in that trade, buddy boy. Drew,
Oh, it was
your
awful.
season, Drew, your season's probably gonna take
over.
a big hit
No.
here. I don't know what your schedule looks like. I just know that no CeeDee Lamb and Evans really hurts.
Oh, it's all right.
We made a trade for Pollard and Diggs right before the season started, and I even told you that you were going way too thin on your depth, and you told me it doesn't matter, bro. I got pieces, and you don't have pieces, so I'm taking my victory lap on that. Andy, anything to add on this matchup?
I got one more thing to add. I'm sorry. Luke, I hope Justin Fields never sees the field again. I hope Tyrod Taylor starts the rest of the year, because I've also heard some little rumors that Justin Fields is not playing their snap for Jets anymore. So good luck, sir. Sorry.
Let's go to the next. I got nothing, man. Let's just go to the next matchup for the sake of time, and so
sorry.
we can prevent Drew from butting in anymore. That's all I got. Good win for Luke. You gotta love wins like that. And this was a real tipping point, the North versus South side of things. Brady down by 10 against Dade. I'll start us off here. How about Trey Tucker? And quite literally is going to be the game of his life and the game of his career. Quite literally accounting for a third of Dade's points. 40.9. 8 of 9, 145, 3 touch. I traded this guy for a 4th round pick on draft day. I mean, I wouldn't have started him this week if he was on the big dogs, but 40 points?
When Red Zone kept flipping back to the Scott Hansen, we got big news coming out of Washington. Geno Smith drops back, and who else but Trey Tucker? Why? I was like, you gotta be kidding. Happened. Okay, that's fine. He scored the second touchdown. I'm like, that Brady can still overcome this. Trey Tucker's got 28 points, 27 points. Brady can still overcome this. Not even 6 IRL minutes later, Scott Hansen. More news out of Washington as we pan over there, and who else again but Trey Tucker? 62 yards. I fucking whacked my pillow. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. We're gonna lose. The North is gonna lose. And that was pretty much what
Trey
I took
Tucker's
out
the
of it.
reason, honestly. I know we were making jokes in the chat this
No,
week. I lost and other
it
guys lost,
literally
but
is
it's
Trey
Trey
Tucker.
Tucker.
It's
Trey
Trey Tucker
Tucker's
and
the
CeeDee Lamb are the reason that the
No,
draft is being
it's
hosted
it's
by
George
the North
Pickens. It's
or
George
by the
Pickens.
No,
yeah.
Drew, it's
George
really Trey.
Pickens.
It really is Trey Tucker.
It's
You and
Trey
Luke had
Tucker,
a fair
dude.
matchup.
Yeah, it's
Trey
Tucker.
When is Trey Tucker ever going to even score north of 20 again, let alone 40? Unbelievable.
Hold up. I just want to scroll up here real quick. If Trey Tucker has 10 points, Brady wins this match by 30. I just
Yep,
want to
exactly.
That
I
is how
mean,
the
it's
math
just
works.
well,
Now real fantasy takeaways. Brady, I don't know what the deal with Keon Coleman is. I don't understand how he can look like that week.
Yeah.
How he can look like that week 1, and then you guys just don't use him anymore.
yeah, I'm
mind-boggling play calling there. I mean, I get Joe Brady's going to be a head coach next year, but what are we doing? I don't understand that. Dak looked horrible. Shout out the Bears. If he wasn't a check down merchant, he wouldn't have completed 31. But Hampton is here. Hampton has arrived. They talked about the pass catching ability. He finally got to display that with 6 catches and 60 yards. That is who Brady drafted at number 2. Now with Najee out for the season, Hampton's going to be making waves. And then on Dade's side, rivaling the position, also taken in the first round, Tyrone Tracy done for 2 to 4 weeks. Scatabo gets the nod, and Scatabo looks phenomenal. I don't think he went down on first contact all night. He looked so good. I really hope they continue to utilize him because he is worth wherever they picked him. He's worth that and more now. And I know everyone gave Dade grief for picking Scatabo over Warren and Egbuka, but Dade said he needed a running back, and if Scatabo continues to do this, even if Warren and Egbuka keep doing what they're doing, Dade made the right choice because hitting on a running back has been really hard in our
for
rookie drafts for anyone
in history.
And if you're hitting on Cam Scatabo, I would take that pick over a tight end or Egbuka because those come in bunches. Dade, we may have been wrong. You might somehow know what you're doing, but the last part. Sorry, I know I said that twice, but the last thing I want to mention for Dade is Kelsey not playing good is potentially going to ruin any capital you can go out and get. You need to have some boom weeks and flip him immediately. And then Penix sucks. That's the end.
No, I was just about to get on how bad Penix is. I mean, 2 points. 2 points. I mean,
it's hard to do that as a quarterback. Really hard to do that.
36 attempts for 2 points. 36 attempts for 2 points. 2 interceptions. Yeah. I don't know. It's just not even worth getting into. Yeah. I mean, JP hit on. I'm just worried about Penix and Keon. Like you said, I don't know how Keon has such a good week 1 and looks like Healer looks like Tyler Scott out there now. So, yeah. You got anything, Yak?
No, man. I'm good. I'm good. Just the Trey Tucker, man. That's all I have is Trey Tucker. That's a real bummer for the North at least, and for Tucker, he'll never have a game like that again in his life. So, as we move on, the Typhoons, Golden Shower. Not really much to rip on here, guys. Ty continues to do his thing. This is what Crux trying to do and losing. Vintage Montgomery on Monday Night Football. Monty looked great. Judkins being consistent. Dobbins could be a gem. And for Cam, Carson Wentz is really about it.
Yeah, there wasn't much going on here. Judkins looked great. Montgomery had the game of his career. And then Tyler Warren underperforming for Cam. But Golden finally getting involved is what you like to see. I still think that trade's up in the air. I know Ty is celebrating the Judkins win, but I think if we give Golden this entire season, I really think they'll be equal as a player. And Cam got a second and third. Now, the same benefit I gave to Dade, I'm going to give to Ty. You get the running back. Wide receivers have come in bunches. I get that, but I do really like Golden and think MLF can really, really utilize them. They also play a weak secondary this week. And man, who are they playing?
I think they're playing
They play a weak secondary.
Cowboys.
Is my point. The Cowboys, exactly, and I expect a deep ball. I'm sure the same thing Ben Johnson saw with Eberflus's. Well, hell, we know MLF used to torch Flus every time, so I'm pretty confident Golden will get it going this week.
Yeah, all I got to add is well, it looks like Sampson's he's done there for Cleveland. He got 1 carry for 2 yards. I was really disappointed because I thought they used him and Judkins a lot against the Packers, but they used Ford instead, which is very disappointing. And other things I just want to point out for Cam, Luther Burden had his first touchdown, career touchdown, and he had 100 yards. So Cameron's got to be pretty excited about that. But those are the only two things I wanted to touch base. Ty, congrats. Oh, and I just wanted to say Debo and Ertz have hit reality. They didn't even combine for 20 points. So your flowers to you, Ty.
All right, we got one final matchup to rip through very quickly before we get on to Jake joining the show. And not much to say here, guys. Good for Wade, though. Near 75-point performance. Nothing too crazy for Frank, undershooting his projection by over 30 points. But this is what happens when you play the tanking teams.
Yeah, bad week for Wade. And I mentioned this last week. I'll say it again. Outside of Troy Franklin and Cedric Tillman, there's really nothing that Wade gets to look forward to. Now Najee Harris out for the year, so he's lost any ability to flip Najee. And then the same thing I've harped about with Frank all season, I'll continue to harp about again. Nix and Stroud have to be better, or he will not be playing into week 17 this year.
Yeah, I don't got really much to add here. I'm just really concerned about Frank's QB play. That's all I'm really concerned about. I mean, Stroud looks awful. I know his line's very bad. Cam Ward looked awful. That pick he had was atrocious the first play of the game.
Yeah, that was one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in an NFL game in my entire life.
I mean, that was bad.
It was really bad.
And then Bo Nix, I mean, he just does not look the same. And then just like Trevor Lawrence I talked about earlier, he's always arguing with Sean Payton. Every single possession, it seems like. Not every possession, but you guys know what I mean. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But that's all I got.
The one last thing I do want to mention with Frankie's team is Penix and London just don't even look on the same page. And London is supposed to be one of your premier guys. I mean, that's supposed to be those four right there, Neighbors, McMillan, London, and McBride. Those are supposed to be some of your breadwinners. And London has done nothing this year. McMillan got cursed with Bryce Young. And I mean, while Neighbors is getting the opportunities, I think Wilson threw him 3 jump balls in the end zone. All but one were picked off. So you just can't have those kinds of weeks against the good teams. Or maybe you can if you go look at any of the other scorers we recapped this week.
Yeah, I just don't know too if they're just shadowing him since he's kind of banged up still with that shoulder from was that week 1 he got hurt or was that week 2?
Who you were referencing again?
Drake
week 1,
London.
I think.
He had that shoulder injury, I believe. Yeah,
Week
that's
1.
what I thought. But,
yep.
Yeah.
All righty, there you have it. There are your week 3 recaps. Jake Saparo joining the show right now. Just Beavin podcast. We now get to the guest portion of our show. He's all smiles here in our quad box. It is the owner of Nuz LLC, Mr. Jake Saparo himself. Zippy, how are we doing, my man? Good to have you on the show.
Oh, it's good to be here with you guys. I'm clearly not doing as good as Beaver. He's out in South Miami somewhere.
That's right. I'm having a good margarita right now.
Hopefully at some point in the podcast, people show us his toes. He's kicking
toes,
slides on the beach, toes out.
Toes in the water, ass in the sand. I think that's how it goes. I could be wrong. But
that's about it.
Yeah, man. Good to have you on. We're going to recap, not much to recap from your week 3 matchup. We'll preview the matchup between you and our commissioner in week 4, an eventful North versus South week 3, which we've already kind of talked to full extent already. And for all of us, unfortunately, it going to the South and that determining draft hosting rights for the upcoming draft in 2026.
Oops.
And as we look at your matchup, you got the pleasure of playing Jack this week. Needs beers, and I still think we need our department on this, JP. I need to start doing this before we record and do shows. Is this our lowest score from anyone in a trying effort, or am I still off the mark here?
I'm pretty sure it may have genuinely been Jack last year. Scored 49 points. Someone scored in the 40s,
under 50.
Yeah, I think
okay.
I'm not for certain, but I believe that's it might have been Dade. Dade might have had like 5 duds and 47. Yeah. I don't
I mean,
we'll have to go through the database and check.
Yeah, this is still piss poor from Jack. But Jake, it's your matchup. We're not going to take anything more away from you. Talk about your squad this week. Under 130, I will say with you, you were at 131 last week and 130 or 129 this week.
I think you're trying to dissuade me from being happy about a victory, which I will not allow happen. I've been recently reading a bit more than I do. There's a novel called Midnight Library. To give you like a quick
Who's it
synopsis.
by?
Oh gosh, Matt Knight or no, there's another one I was reading by Ron Keegel, so I'm getting confused. It's Matt something. But
Okay.
synopsis really, there's a main character, Nora Seed. She has an attempt on her own life, which seems unfortunate, but it's actually a very uplifting book in which she's in an endless library and reads how different choices could have led her down different paths of her life, and how futures that could still be. But what Nora really finds out is that the present's important, and I beat Jack. I'm now 2-1, while some teams are struggling and floundering, and I'm enjoying my team. I get to watch the Bears win. I get to watch Romo Dunze win. I get to watch wonderful football. So I'm not going to be dissuaded by 129 or numbers. I'm happy about wins and losses and that my team's on a winning streak.
Okay.
I'd give the
Any
same advice to Jackson as well. That the game's over, so he can focus on getting the squad right, heading into week 4 here, and maybe capturing a W if he's not looking for that. Even better, but just stay focused on the now.
I was going to ask anyone in particular standing out from your group, and I do want you to touch on how god awful Chase Brown is.
Listen,
I also want to make a big. I want to make it a
here we
big
go.
point to discuss Chase Brown. I just want to discuss him. I just want to have
a
discourse
dialogue
about Chase Brown. Yeah.
We could wax poetry about what is or what could have happened or what could be different, or we could focus on the fact that I won. Maybe Mr. Brown's not having his best stretch, but there's always time to improve.
We're
on
on
3
his
yards
logs,
on
JP.
10 carries.
Can you pull up his logs just from not even this week?
From what I've heard, 3's plenty, so I don't.
I think I saw he had 43 carries for like.
Yeah, does the
I don't
snap
even-
percentage
He
mean
hasn't-
something to you here, Jake?
He hasn't even hit
Because I just tried
100 yards.
I just tried to take you down.
He hasn't even hit 50 yards.
He has 50 carries.
I just try to take you down
hasn't
this
hit 100
philosophical path of
yards.
understanding that it's not worth focusing on the past. We got it in our next week matchup coming up here. Things haven't been great. That's okay, but what can we do about them now? Nothing. So Mr. Brown's on to his next week, and we hope for better things.
All right, and then I'm going to follow that up with another Bengal. Are you at all worried about T. Higgins now that Jake Browning is commanding? Nope, not at all. You're just going to continue to play the Midnight Library.
It's a great book. I'd recommend everyone read it. I
Even
could
though
be
you don't know the
concerned.
author.
Okay, I forget his last name. I know his name's Matt. Good guy, probably, if he can write a book like that. No, dude, I got JMO. Romo Dunze's on fire. AJ Brown's back. I mean, the only thing I need right now is George Kittle and Brock Purdy back, and But again, I'm not worried about them being back because they're not back yet. I'm focused on the team I have right now in front of me, and we're 2-1. We're in a great spot.
There it is, the Midnight Library.
Which
it is an
that?
actual book.
Yeah,
it's by Matt Haig.
Yeah, Matt Haig.
Oh, not Matt Hendricks.
No, not Matt Hendricks.
No, that'd be
but if Henning would
Midnight.
like to put his own spin on whatever Jake's talking about right now, I'm sure he could do that.
And then I have another question, just since we're firing him away here. Are you at all worried about, I guess both as a Bears fan and a fantasy owner, are you at all worried about Loveland's involvement in the offense through 3 weeks? And more particularly, are you worried that Kmet is seeing a boatload of snaps?
He had a huge catch before he got hurt. He got hurt on that catch, so it was a big play. You guys are some worrisome people. Everything's questions about worry.
You undershot your projection the last 2 weeks. You put up 131 and now 129.
You were projected 150 points.
And I'm 2-1, and the outcome's the outcome. You guys must spend a lot of time.
I'm just asking if you're worried. The only one I said I'm worried about is Chase Brown.
No, I'm not worried. I feel like we should have a few talks and I can help lift something off your guys' shoulders. Maybe there seems to be a lot weighing this podcast down.
Well, there is a lot weighing me down. I have the pressure of running back a championship, so there is a lot of pressure.
Jake, I'd like to ask, if Loveland doesn't play this week, who are you going to start at tight end since Kittle is hurt?
Yeah, I'm probably going to start Luke Farrell.
You don't want to pay a second for Jake Tonges?
No, I'm not on Jake Tonges. I wish his last name was Tongues. That'd be a lot cooler. Then I'd maybe pay a second for him. I'd buy a Tongues jersey.
That's awesome.
Anything else, Jake? I have a couple things, guys, I want to touch on with Jack. Not a whole lot, but anything else you got to say about your week 3 victory?
Yeah, Jack's a great competitor. He put the guys out there. He put the he put the
Oh,
best he could
yeah.
out there, and he was very honorable in our matchup. And I appreciate the competition as always from him.
Yeah, Jack added me in the chat about Chris Brooks this past week. JP, if you want to scroll down, how did Chris Brooks do? Nothing. Okay. Just curious. Jack had Ollie Gordon on his bench. He scored. That's a plus. I raised my hand for not drafting the guy, even though I had the chance to in the 4th round. And Drake May, his lone double-digit scorer, and quite literally made up nearly half his points.
Yeah, and if you take away the turnovers, he's got 24. The other thing I just realized is that Caleb Williams threw more touchdown passes than Chase Brown had yards on 10 attempts rushing. That is wild. 4 passing touchdowns to 3 rushing yards is kind of nuts.
See, you're focusing on Chase Brown here instead of being like, you guys could have had this spin, and maybe more people would listen if you did a spin like, look at Marcus Mariota at 31 years old, the Oregon legend who all of us love, goes out and puts up 20
points. That was a great performance.
That was
a great performance.
And how cool is it to see the former Heisman go out there and do that, huh?
It is really cool. It is really cool. Garrett Wilson looked great
Yeah.
now that Justin Fields was benched. I could have told you that was coming. And Wade, you're still a terrorist for trading James Cook away. Now Zippy has finally got his absolute fleece and can no longer complain. Jack, this was an embarrassment to the league. I hope you score more than 60 points next week, because 52 is very disheartening.
It's a bad number, dude.
How many picks does he have?
Not enough for it to make a difference, I don't think. I don't know. I can't check on the computer since Sleeper doesn't update their website.
Hey, at least Torrey Horton had a good game.
Yes, I do. Me and JP, I think you have 2 beef, but I know JP and I in our draft special, JP and I have been pounding the table. How long have we been on the Torrey Horton train, JP?
Long time. 2 touchdowns.
He's a good player.
One was a punt return too.
Hey, one thing about Jack, real quick, touch base. Are we officially worried about Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp's dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I have the draft pick total. If you guys want Jack's draft picks.
Don't tell his wife that.
Yes,
she might
please
not
tell
be
us.
happy.
Jack's got 5 first rounders in the draft this year.
Oh, never mind, Jack. Score even less.
He's got 4 seconds, a third.
Did you say 5 first?
Yes, 5 first round picks. His
never
own,
mind, Jack.
Jake's,
Score 40
Luke's,
next week.
Cam Boyers, and Matt's.
Dude, him and Matt's, that might be the top 2 picks.
I was just about to say that's 3 playoff teams in Jack and Matt. So
no, it's all right, Matt. You can come back from this. We believe in you.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, that's your week 3 matchup, Jake, and we'll now pivot to you got the commissioner this week, and you're a heavy favorite, or a heavy underdog. JP's the heavy favorite. JP, I know we normally let our guests go first, but I want you to kind of get us going here. You're 3-0 entering this.
I am 3-0 entering this week. My team has been very disappointing. To the same note that we were just ripping on Zippy, Brian Thomas. There's something wrong there. I don't know what it is mentally or whatever. I just feel terrible for him. The loss of his close friend, Kyron Lacey, is obviously playing a big hindrance in what's going on. And I've seen stuff all over social media that he apparently is meeting with a specialist or some nonsense like that. I have no idea, but I really feel bad for the guy. I hope he takes the time off that he needs rather than going out there and I don't know. But Marvin Harrison also has been disappointing. Kyler Murray has been disappointing. My team's just been disappointing, really. But there have been some standouts. Christian McCaffrey has turned back the clock. Mac Jones literally dumps it down to him every time. It is awesome to watch. Lamar is still a beast. And then Derrick Henry now is a fumble problem, and that's concerning. And Brock Bowers, my team's just been really disappointing over the last couple of weeks. I'm pretty dissuaded by this matchup, honestly. And I love the matchups that Zippy has. Barkley at Tampa doesn't worry me too much. Same with Irving versus Philly, but Odunze is going to light up Vegas. Williams is going to get shut down by Cleveland, and then Garrett Wilson might have 40 on Miami's head, and then James Cook might also have 40 on New Orleans. So that's worrisome. I think it'll really come down to whether or not Purdy and Daniels play. I know Mariota is probably going to put up exactly what Daniels would put up. But Purdy versus Rodgers, I think, is the big difference maker there. Although I don't think Purdy's going to play, so that should be an advantage. I don't know. I think we both go under our projections, and this final score is like 134 to 130. I don't have a lot of faith in either of our teams right now. So,
All right, Jake, your counter.
Yeah, I think most teams have been disappointing. It feels like
I
I don't really know anyone who's happy with the roster.
if you don't mind me jumping in real quick, when
Yeah.
I was looking at the weekly recap this week, the max points for someone was 180, and then there was 174, 172. But my point being is that Andy and Boyer scored 180 and 160, and then the next highest score was me at 147, Ty 144.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
So
good.
it was relatively disappointing.
Gotta
all the way
love being
around.
the second highest scorer in the entire league, but losing because you played the only guy who scored higher than you. Anyways, it's good.
Gotta score more points to beat your opponent.
Defense sucks.
It feels like it's turned into more of a defensive NFL in general. Not as many high scoring
And
games.
a lot of rushing this year. Not a lot of passing, I've noticed.
No, the wide receivers are going wayside more this year.
Yeah.
But you got to hold the faith. That's all you can do. I didn't turn my focus to this game until 12 p.m. struck the clock on Monday night, and it switched. So I've only really had a day to process this matchup. I haven't been looking ahead at all or anything. I'm excited. I think my team's coming in prepared. I think Colston Loveland goes for 20 points. That's my shock projection. I I think the boys are going to rally around the idea that we got a shot to put a 1 in the column of the opponent, and we're going to win. And we're going to win because I'm coming in, unlike my opponent, telling the boys that they got a shot to win. You know, when you start joshing on the boys and pulling them down, you're not going to perform well. Who respond? Beav, you respond to that? Someone comes in and says, you're a garbage teacher and you think you're underperforming. You happy about that, or you're pissed off?
I'd be pretty pissed off.
Yeah. So I'm going to hype the boys up for a huge win this week.
Okay. So you two are taking one another, or JP, you're taking yourself. Jake, you're taking yourself. Drew, who do you have in this match?
You
And
know,
why?
Just for Jake's sake, just how he got me fired up, I'm gonna
Let's
take Jake.
go.
I'm gonna take Jake this week. I'm gonna take the upset here.
Nice.
I think Henry's gonna have his 4th straight fumble this upcoming week. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah, I'm gonna take Jake just because he fired me up. That's all I'm
First
doing.
team all vibes culture, Beef. We love it.
Just going with the vibes.
For the exact reasons of what he provided me, I'm gonna lean on JP's side here from a more logic standpoint, a more just I don't know.
Dude, if you're
Occasional
editing this, add like a womp womp sound effect to that.
I mean, yeah, Jake's underperformed the last 2 weeks. There's no secret there. I mean, I guess then that logic could be he's due to have a boom
The
week.
trend is your friend.
But I trust JP's team a bit more here. So that'll be my pick for the panels
I
down
dug
below.
myself a hole, so I got to catch myself back up with some wins with our picks. So I'm taking Jake this week. I'll put myself.
All you need are about 6 or 7 correct picks, Beef.
That's right.
Most definitely. So there you have it. Jake, before we let you go, we're going to have you rapid fire the rest of the league, the rest of the slate here this week. Just initial gut reactions. This is a pretty lopsided slate this week, so it probably shouldn't take you too long. Beaver, he's taking on Ty. What will be one of the closer matchups this week?
You should definitely take Ty.
I'm taking Beef. I'm taking stuff to Beef.
I knew when Drew said that he was taking Beef.
I'm taking Beef. Come on. First team all vibes, commissioner of the vibes. Beef's in coastal Florida right now, and Ty's what? Probably asleep on his couch. Give me the Beef.
No, I respect it.
All right. Boyer coming off the highest scoring performance of the week. He has got Brady, who fell to Dade for his first loss of the season.
Do you think you know where I'm going with this? Because I'm picking Brady for a huge upset here. Come on. We're going to rank guest picks. Let's make it fun. Brady beats Boyer's due for a fall off. He's been talking negatively about his team for forever. After week 1, he said he was going to sell. Brady has built decent infrastructure and continues to build it. So I'll give me Brady in an upset pick.
All right. The big dogs. Oh, wait, no. I'm skipping one ahead. Chase these balls going against the backseat gentleman.
Now, I've been pretty positive all all pod fellas, but are these two of the worst names in the league?
We've
This
had a
is
lot
a
of names in
fucking
this league, Jake. I think these are probably two of the worst we've ever had.
even though this is maybe one of my least favorite names in the league, I'm going chase these balls. I can't go all upsets. I think that's Matt's team, right? Not
Yeah,
crazy.
correct.
Yeah. God, he makes it hard to like him. I'm going him. His team's better. Dade's team hasn't been good. I think Dade's team was good once while I was in the league. And then after, like, not even like fringe competitive. Dade's due eventually, but not yet. Give me Matt. Matt. We'll work on some stuff together. Don't worry, buddy.
Now we can get to the big dogs. They got a Gator swamp this week.
I was gonna blow up my. I got him. I'm going with the big dog. Come on. Come on.
I mean, how could you
Come
not,
on.
right?
How could you not? How could you
Man,
not? I
it's
can't
the
go
big
with
dog.
Wade's been having a lot of gastro problems recently, so I'm gonna ride with Yak on this one.
All right, I think that's a logical enough reason. This is you're gonna have to take your time on this one. SEAL Team next, Frank has got your opponent from last weekend, Jack.
Dude, give me Jack because nobody's had more atrocious vibes over these last start to this season, maybe outside of Matt. So Matt's due for a win. Then Bo Nix, CJ Stroud, Amon Ra. Give me a crazy upset here just for the fact that Frank's team's vibes. And I'm rooting for him to pick it up, but he's got to figure out how to do that internally on his own team. The vibes on his team are wretched right now.
All right, and then we cap it off. Luke Hunley's Hicks, taking on one of your dear friends, Mr. Cameron Crook in Golden Shower.
See, there you go. That's how you do it, Matt. I gotta go, Luke here. I hate it. I can't go because I can't just keep giving
I'm not even
upset.
gonna lie. I pre-fired Crook's name when writing down the picks. I was so confident you were coming in with a banger speech for why Crook was gonna win.
No, I think this is better to talk about how much more steady Crook's been as a league member. Understands his role, plays it to a T, built a great team, understood the process on the come up, understands the current now, while also being able to fixture on what worked in the past for others and what worked in the future. Meanwhile, we've seen Luke Hunley spiral multiple times because he doesn't understand any perspective currently. I'd love to be his perspective coach. I'm like the guy in TikTok. What's that guy's name? Steve. He's the.
I
Oh,
don't
you
know.
gotta fucking.
He's not on my
Damn,
phone
I can't
page.
edit him in here. Damn, it's gonna look so stupid now. That's all right. Luke needs to go to him, counsel with him. He needs to get his head right. He lets too many outside influences take over and take control. But it's all right. He doesn't need that this week since Kronk's team stinks.
Any other comments on Crunk and his managing abilities?
No, Krunk's in Milwaukee, or was in Milwaukee this past weekend. So shout out him. I'm sure he parties hard out there. It's one of the greatest cities in the world. Shout out to him.
I was
I'd
gonna say, I
also,
think we know how Crunk parties.
yeah, stout and angrily. No, but Krunk's done a good job as a startup team.
All right, there you have it, Jake. This was a pleasure, man. It was great
Oh,
having you on. Second go round. We had you last year. Any closing thoughts for you before we send you on your way on this fine Tuesday night?
yeah. I don't like soft ice cream. Do you guys like soft ice cream?
What's the
Ice cream's
difference?
already
I don't.
soft.
What's the
Like
difference
you ever
between
have it
soft
soft?
and hard ice
Exactly. I had soft ice cream the other day. Didn't know what the difference was. It was terrible. It was all like mushy and got melted by the end.
Oh,
So,
I like that.
one, stay away from soft ice cream. It's not as good as normal cold custard ice cream.
cream? Okay.
And two, allow yourself to think about the past and the future, but make sure you always remain present.
Hey Jake, you a waffle cone guy or a regular cone guy?
Dude, the great debate between sugar versus waffle is huge. It
It's gotta be
depends.
waffle, right?
I gotta
Yeah,
get this picture.
So,
I got a picture of Jake double fisting some ice cream cones.
because
Back
I'm
during
in
COVID.
on the waffle. I think the waffle is great, especially for like if you're currying a larger amount of ice cream. But the sugar cone is pretty fire too.
Yeah, a little double fisting action there.
He's so young. What's the
Damn, I
date
have
on that?
fucking locks.
August 7th, 2020.
Wow.
what is that?
Right
senior
before
year?
college.
Yeah,
That
right
was right. That
before,
was
right
before.
before
That was right
college.
before we moved over to college. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It.
I mean,
Fucking time flies, boys. Fuck
yeah.
me.
I mean, look at Bauer. His teammates stink, but he's probably having a better time than most
Literally,
of us.
literally 7 days later, or no, the 7th, Drew, 4 days later is when we went to Zippy's and you had your first time ever at Zippy's.
They had a great time. Yeah, that's what
Oh,
they had.
shit.
That was
Yeah.
2020.
That was 2020. First time Drew ever
Wow.
came to Zippy's. I remember having to
Wow.
ask Zippy, "Hey, my cousin's in town. You mind if he comes with?"
Oh, the
Ah,
Costco cheese pizza, man. Fuck.
the best.
Fuck yeah.
The best. Too good, Jake. It was great catching up with you, man. Thanks for joining us as our guest here on the Just Beavin podcast this week.
Always great to be on here with you, lads.
Zip, thanks so much for joining us here on the pod this week. Let's preview the rest of week 4, fellas, and let's do so. Drew, your matchup up first following JP and Jake previewing theirs. You got Ty this week in what's projected as one of the closer matchups of week 4.
Yeah, I love all my matchups, and I hate all Ty's matchups. I'm gonna be completely honest with both of y'all. I'm taking myself this week. Like I said in the preview, I think Caleb's gonna go over his projection. I think Genty's gonna go over his projection. I think Warren's gonna go over his projection. I just literally like all my matchups this week. I mean, Pitts plays Carolina this week. I mean, that Houston D has been good. So am a little worried about Ridley's matchup. But other than that, I mean, Josh Palmer has stepped up for me this week with Mike Evans and CeeDee Lamb out, and he's going up against a terrible New Orleans team. So I'm hoping he at least gets me 10 points there. But yeah, I mean, Javonte Williams scares me. So I got 2 matchups I don't like, but out of those matchups, I like everyone else. That Philly Tampa Bay game should be a shootout. So, I mean, if you would just look at Ty's game matchups, I mean, Monty and St. Brown going against Cleveland, I don't like that at all. That defense has been surprisingly very good. Ladd, I am a little worried for him. He's just not been in the offense yet this year. It's been the Quentin Johnson show. So that's just what I've been saying. And then Ertz and Samuel, you guys know how I feel about them. I hate them. Uh, I don't think they're good. So what do you guys got to add?
I'm
Yeah,
going
you
to take
took pretty
Drew.
much. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm taking Drew because I just don't think Ty starts 4-0.
I am. Damn, I was really hoping this was gonna get me a boost pick on Andy. I'm also taking Drew, not for that reasoning, but I echo everything that Drew says. I think Williams and Genty will go over theirs. I think Collins will go over his. I think Hertz will go over his. I think Mayfield will go over his. I think Judkins might go below unless he finds the end zone. It's all running backs are tough to say they'll go below because they're so common. They're such common scorers. Debo is terrible. And then exactly what Drew said about the Lions against Cleveland. That Cleveland defense is literally the best in the league, and it's genuinely not even close. And then the one that scares me though, that I think could genuinely tip the scale, is Dobbins against Cincy. Dobbins has been extremely efficient. Granted that Broncos offensive line is arguably the best run blocking line in the league outside of Philly. And so that could, depending on how much, if at all, Drew is even leading going into Monday night, I might regret this pick, but I'm going to take B for now.
Alrighty. And this is, like I said, at the top, one of the closer ones we're going to have really all week. There's not much to really go through here. Cam coming off being the highest scorer in week 3, guys. He's got Brady, who disappointingly drops to 2-1, courtesy really of Trey Tucker. Just based off projections, I know you two will probably dive a bit more into the matchups, but it's pretty blatantly obvious that Cam's going to move to 3-1, and there's not really much to think about when actually making the pick here. So Cam Boyer is my pick.
Yeah, I'll hop in here. I'm gonna take Cam Boy here. It's not really much to say. I think Cam starts 3-1, and we'll see if John Taylor can go 3 straight weeks of having 30 points. It will be interesting to see if Hawk bounces back or if he's gonna be like a Mark Andrews and has a good game every 3 weeks this year. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna take Cam this week.
I'm also going to take Cam Boyer this week. Obviously, the projections say what they need to say. I'll just echo what I echo every single week because got to give the guys their flowers. You got to see the same thing out of Hampton this week against a good Giants front seven, but a bad secondary. So you're hoping the pressure gets to Herbert. Herbert dumps it down to Hampton. You see the same kind of production he just had, and then you really want to hope Keon Coleman gets back involved versus a terrible New Orleans secondary. Tucker Kraft being healthy should be a big boost. And I was coming down here to say this. I was wondering if Brady was going to play Tyquan Thornton this week. He's actually been a relatively great streaming option. So that's what you want to see. But sorry to skip over your team, kind of Boyer. I'm not even sure you watched this. If you do, you can call me out in the chat. But yeah, it's just such a lopsided matchup, and we're not looking for anything in particular with your team. So Boyer gets the win this week, moves to 3-1.
We'll see if we get any different picks following what we had. We all picked the same last week in North versus South. Matt Hendricks is my pick here. He finally snaps the 3-game losing streak. But how funny would it be, like Jake said, if Dade is able to win? I think Jake also took Matt. I know it was that long ago we recorded, but I'm pretty sure he did.
He took Matt, yeah.
It's weird to look at these teams and these rosters and think Dade is 2-1 and Matt is 0-3. That Dade has a 2-game lead on him. That's just how the schedules are this year. Everyone gets their bye weeks at different points and their tough games at different points. It was a rough scheduling start to the year for Matt, and he hasn't been able to answer the bell once. And I think this week is a nice pick me up. The one guy I'm going to look at is Jamar Chase, seeing if anything changes with Jake Browning and if he can find some footing on the road. It's tough to play in Denver. You know, the air up there it's harder to get offense moving. And so if you thought Cincinnati's offensive unit was even a rough watch, which they were, that's the definition of it against Minnesota last week. We'll see how they respond here.
Yeah, I'm going to take Matt here. I don't really have much to add. I think it's his first win here. Nothing against Dade, but I don't think Trey Tucker's having a 40 bomb again this week. So it is kind of crazy though that he had 40 points and now he's only projected 9 points with for a weak secondary that the Bears have. But that's all I got.
Yeah, it's really taking every fiber in me to not pick Dade. Not only not even because Matt's 0-3. I hate Matt's matchups, and I love Dade's matchups. If Xavier Worthy plays, I think this matchup is a lot closer than people are going to give it credit for. Like I said, I'll just spoil it. I think Atlanta's going to win this week, and so I really think Penix is going to have to throw the ball to win. And so I'm expecting at least 2 touchdowns there, and maybe even a rushing touchdown. I love that. Kayshon Boutte versus a weak Carolina secondary, they should absolutely torch that. J.C. Horn's probably going to be following. My guess would be Diggs all over the field. Hell, who knows? He might just pick his side and play it because they really don't have a scary wide receiver threat. So I love the matchups. Kelsey versus Baltimore, Worthy versus Baltimore. You're telling me Trey Tucker? I can picture it right now. Trey Tucker down the middle of the defense. Kevin Byard's lost on an out route, and there's Trey Tucker's 50 yards downfield, and Scott Hansen shows up on my second screen with breaking news that Trey Tucker just scored a touchdown. Like I can just totally see it written in the stars, and I really do. You know what? This is for nothing. I'm taking Dade. I'm taking Dade. I really think Dade's going to get it done this week. It has nothing to do. I think Matt's team is good. I still think Matt makes the playoffs. Matt, this is a bad week, and I'm so low on Chase, especially going up against Denver. Exactly what Andy said. I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I really do, and I'm taking Dade to win. I'm expecting a big spike week. Come on, Dade. Fire the boys up for me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You know,
I just really bought into Dade right there. I love it. I love Scatabo. I love Hubbard. Trey Tucker might be the greatest receiver in the NFL, man. I'm fired up.
I really think if Matt goes 0-4, he blows it up. I think he does.
It'll be interesting
as most guys with a competitive team going 0-4 would do.
This is I did Matt is one of the few schedules I looked at, and I think I mentioned in whatever last week's episode number was that Matt does have an easy schedule coming up in which he should come through these next 5-ish games, at least if all went right, obviously 5-3. They're all winnable games. He plays, I think, 3 tanking teams. Well, I guess Dade's not technically tanking anymore, but he plays Dade, Crook, and Jacker Wade, I think. And so those are 3 winnable games. But if he loses this one and only comes out of this at 2-4 or 3-4, Could be
rough
having a
one.
different conversation as we get closer to the playoffs here. If he loses this one, this could cost him a playoff spot. With that
Absolutely.
said, Matt, you'll probably win. Dade, fire up the boys for me. Get me a win this week.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Him being 0-4 would definitely be something, that's for sure. I have nothing here. It's me, and that's it. That's the simplest preview I think we're ever going to have on this show. You two, Drew, I know you're next. You feel free to say what you want, but I get to 2-2. It's after being the second highest scored team in the league. I forgot who I played this week. Bad on me not memorizing my schedule. But 2 days ago, as soon as I hit the arrow to week 4, this is the biggest blessing I could have gotten this week. I don't even have to watch my team. Obviously, I'm going to watch for certain guys and how they do and how they look, looking for Breece Hall to show me something on that Monday night game. Him versus A-Chain there is fun. It's part of a Monday night doubleheader. Seeing, other stuff for certain guys. And if Hollywood Brown can go back to form, if Ferguson can stay hot. But in terms of actually watching for a win versus loss decision, this match has been decided. We haven't even played it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't got much. No disrespect, Wade, but I'm taking Yak. I don't really have much to add here. What do you got, JP?
Yeah, just about nothing. The only thing I feel so bad because there's no one on this team outside of Cedric Tillman where I can even look at it and be like, well, Wade should be hoping this guy goes off.
You're not a Kenneth Gainwell fan?
No, surprisingly not.
I can't even
big Steelers guy, but no, not a Kenneth Gainwell fan. I know, shocking, but
Hey, let me hop in here real quick, but I can't even cheer for Tua anymore. Like he just looks bad.
no, it's bad. That's my point though, is I feel bad because it's gonna be a long time if Wade even watches this before we get to talk about his team in any positive light. And Cedric Tillman is the only light that even sticks out to me. So yeah, big dogs win in controlling fashion this week.
Just keep stacking brick after brick, day after day. And if we thought the last preview was pretty simple, guys. Like I said, I put my recap, my analysis goes into recaps. I try to keep it simple. I let you guys kind of go after previews. But I don't even know how much you guys will have to say here. We mentioned it last week. Jack put up 52. Drake May scored 20 of his 52 points. Clearly just not going to win. I mean, he's going to have to win a game this year. Him versus Wade, that'll be cinema when those two square off. Someone's going to have to bite there, but clearly won't even be in the same zip code as Frank this week. And Frank will be up to 3-1.
Yeah, just real quick to add the Frank side real quick. Obviously, I'm taking Frank. There's not much to add here, but I don't know what you boys think, but if Bo Nix doesn't have at least 20 points this week, I would be officially out on Bo Nix. I mean, he's going up against a bad Cincy defense, and I'm hoping he at least throws for 2 touchdowns for 250 yards, rushes for about 40 yards. But if he doesn't do that, I'll be officially scared.
I am gonna go contrarian to that. I don't think Bo Nix has played as bad as critics are saying. Box score hunting a little bit. His stats are much better than where we were last year with Bo Nix when people were, talking about the flashes and all that. And that we've lost the plot on sophomore QBs and the way we talk about young QBs. And like, yeah, Stroud is struggling, but it's year 3 and it's really year 2 for Bryce. It's year 2 for Caleb. It's year 2 for Penix. It's year 2 for Nix. Year 2 for May. There's been no bad discourse about Drake May at all. None. And he didn't look that great. I mean, he was fine last week, but the 2 weeks prior, he didn't look like phenomenal or anything. And it's poor Caleb gets the brunt of all of that bad criticism. And now Nix is starting to get it. He's 5 touchdowns with 3 interceptions. They played the Colts, who are arguably one of the best teams in the league right now, whether we want to admit it or not. I mean, they're blowing their opponents out. They played the Chargers last week, which they've been really good defensively, which no one expected. And I forget who they played week 1. But my point is that I think Bo Nix is getting a little too much hate right now. From fantasy wise, obviously it hasn't been good, but then going right off of that, Jack would like to see something good out of Drake May, and that's about all I have to say for Jack. Sorry, Jack, you're kind of in the same boat as Wade. We just don't have much to talk about till you make a couple moves here or there and get some young pieces on the team that we can really look forward to. Frank, again, in controlling fashion.
And nothing else there, Beav. Okay. And we get one more tanking team against one more team trying to win. I mentioned it in the recap, guys. Luke really only had one true dud, guy who didn't show entirely, that being Jerry Jeudy. I want to see. Can you scroll down, JP? I do want to see what his like flex play and super flex play as of right now would look like. Okay, it's pretty much the same. We'll see if Chico can repeat that 15-point performance from last week. Not trying to trigger Drew. But yeah, Kruk's not trying to win. Luke is, so Luke's the pick here. And like we talked about in the recap, seeing what Golden can do if he gets a deep ball against Dallas's defense. Trying to see more from Tyler Warren, just get his rookies out there. Will be interesting to see with Wan'Dale Robinson now that Jackson Dart's the starting quarterback in New York, how that connection could look down the line. For Kruk, it's all about certain player watching, and for Luke, he's in prime position to start off 4-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna surprise you here on you guys. I'm taking Kruk here. I like all his matchups.
Does this have anything to
This
do
is
with
such a
last
spite
week?
pick. This is
No,
such a spite pick.
I'm-
Yes,
Nothing.
it
It
is.
has nothing.
Yes, it is.
Nothing.
That's
I'm
such a
taking
spite
Kruk.
pick.
I like his matchups. I like Burden against Vegas. I think he's gonna see more. I think he's gonna be on the field more. More snap percentages going up.
Pearsall's been nice, I will say.
Pearsall,
He
Quentin
looked
Johnson.
really good against
Quint-
Arizona.
Quentin Johnson's been that main source there. I mean, like JP said in the preview, I think Matthew Golden's gonna get a deep ball. He's gonna
So you think he's gonna win starting Dara Ogabongawale? I mean, you
And Dylan Sampson as his
you genuinely think this, or you're just
Yeah.
picking because it's
No,
Luke?
I think he's gonna win.
All right. You can have
This is-
you can have your flowers
I-
then.
I
If
think
he
It's a
wins,
spite pick.
if he wins,
It's the pick of the
it's
lifetime
the pick of
us
the
doing
yeah.
this. Yeah.
I'll give you 5 points worth of picks if Kruk beats.
All right, deal.
If Kruk beats
That's running
Luke.
backs. Go back to those are his two running. His RB1 is Dylan Sampson.
Dylan Sampson and Dare Ogabongawale.
Back in special teams role. Look at the latest news. 2 days ago. Agabogawale played exclusively on special teams in Sunday's 17-10 loss to the
genuinely,
Jaguars.
what are we doing?
This
Genuinely,
is the first
what are
time
we
in 3
doing?
weeks that he did not get on the field with the offense,
I mean,
despite him being one of only 3 backs healthy. Yeah,
is that the final? Yeah, I mean, Keaton Mitchell, I guess, is going to have to go in because he's projected more. But like, I mean, what are we doing? But hey, Drew, if he wins, you are a wizard, and I will tell your picks for the rest of the year.
All right.
But with all that said, I echo what Andy said in the beginning about Cam's team and what we're looking forward to, and then I echo his later thought about Pearsall. I really intently watched that Arizona San Fran game because my team had 3 guys going in that, so I really had to. Pearsall, it was McCaffrey and Pearsall down the field every single play. I don't think Mac Jones looked anywhere else. He threw what should have been a game-costing pick, forcing it to Pearsall into double coverage. I mean, I don't know what Mac Jones was looking at. Any faith I had in Mac Jones ever getting a job again, I think all NFL pro scouts saw that throw and closed the book on that. I think Mac Jones just cost any job he could have ever gotten. It was really bad, but yep, I'm taking Luke to win in, again, unhandling fashion.
All righty. Probably some of the quicker previews you'll see from us here on the pod. We transition from our picks of the week to our power rankings, and we have a lot of differing views on our power rankings this week, so we'll have to dive a bit deeper. Last week was simpler, not a lot of movement, mainly just in the middle. The top dogs stayed up top. Our bottom 5 stayed relatively intact for the most part as we continue to get to navigate the opening half of the season. And JP, this is your project, so as always, I'll give it to you.
Yep. From my own perspective, again, thank you, Andy, for putting me at number 1. I also put myself at number 1. But as you guys saw when I was talking with Zippy, I am losing faith in my team slowly. And this, if we score under 150 again, I will not be putting myself at number 1 unless Cam, Frank, and Zippy all have dud weeks. I will remain myself there. But if one of those 4 scores above 165 in the 170 to 180 range, somewhere in there, I will probably be handing over the number 1 spot to one of them. My team just isn't cutting it right now, and it's unfortunate, but it's the reality. Hoping we can bounce back this week. But moving on to Drew's number 1, Cam Boyer. I had him at number 2, Andy down at number 5. Drew, why don't you tell us a little bit why you had him at 1? I'll kind of briefly fill in what I think you missed, if anything, and then we can have Andy talk about why he's got him at 5.
Yeah, I just had to give Cam his flowers. I mean, Jonathan Taylor back-to-back weeks with a 30 bomb. His players are producing. I think every buddy on
Oh,
his
that's
team.
totally getting clipped. Sorry.
What?
Nothing. Just
I
carry
saw
on.
it. Okay, sorry, I saw it.
No, it
Okay.
was my fault. 100% getting clipped.
No, what happened? All right, anyways.
Hands up, I was looking at my phone, so I'll have to watch it later.
You'll see it when you watch it.
Anyways, back-to-back 30 bombs for JT. And then, I mean, his team's just been consistent the last 3 weeks. I mean, he's had most of his team, JSN, Kyron, Hawk had a big week this week. Just all performing with 20-plus points. I mean, the sleeper of the year on his team is Juwan Johnson. I mean, he's coming alive on that squad. He's doing a great job. But, yeah, I just had to give Cam his flowers.
Yeah, my whole thing for 2 was the consistency. Once is luck, twice is a coincidence, and then third time is reality. And yes, this is only the second time, but I foresee it in the third time. As we looked at the matchups, Boyer will likely win this week, and so that is why. I think his team's definitely been one of the best, if not the best, over the last 2 weeks. So Andy, Boyer at number 5 after 2 strong weeks.
Yeah, hand up. Probably should have put him a bit higher, but I can still back up why I have him at 5. I trust Frank's team a bit more. Still, I know the quarterback play is suspect, but in general, I trust his squad a bit more on a consistent basis. Who'd I have at 3? Zippy. After we had him on, I was like back to back down weeks. Yeah, it's still one of those things. He's 2-1. You keep him up there based on what he's shown you in the past. And then for Ty at 4 over, Ty's undefeated. So that's I probably could have put Zip at 5, Cam at 3, or maybe Ty at 3, Cam at 4, Zip at 5. It was a tough trio to rank. Hand up, probably should have put Boyer a bit higher, but I still stand by my number 5 ranking. And if he can truly show it once again this week, he will be much, much higher on my list moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's well said and is a perfect reasoning for having him that low. Frank, no movement at all, staying at number 3, although we were all in a little bit of disagreement on Frank, with Andy having him the highest at 2, Beav at 4, and myself at 3. Ty, like Andy just mentioned, Drew actually buying some Ty stock, moving him up to number 3 this week, but no movement on Ty's end, staying at number 4. Zippy dropping 3 spots from number 2 to number 5. Me and Beef sold our Zippy stock for this upcoming week, which I'm sure Zip's going to be thrilled about when he watches this back. I just, like we talked about in when he was on, it's just one of those things where Andy mentioned it. He's just not scoring a lot, and it's sure he has the talent, and we just need to see it come to fruition. But I got to rank him for what he's doing right now. It's like the Chiefs in real life. They're 1-2. We know they're the Chiefs, but are they? Is this year they don't turn it around? Like what we have to rank him on what we're seeing.
Has he ever made the playoffs, JP?
He has not made the playoffs,
okay.
So we can't even give him the Chiefs standard.
Interesting. Okay, I'm just wondering, just curious. The history of this league, it'd be pretty hard to not make the playoffs.
No, it would be crazy.
I've made the playoffs every year while trying.
Now that I think about it, if we don't count the expansion teams or Wade, everyone's made the playoffs. And as a matter of fact, an expansion team made the playoffs last year. So that's kind of
interesting.
Nuts.
Yeah, that is
interesting.
nuts.
But anyways, we can move on from him. And Andy, yourself, when I was going through my power rankings, personally, I was shocked that I had you at 6, because I think you mentioned it earlier in the show. You said that you were second in scoring in the league. You just had a great week. I don't know what it was that made me put you at 6. I don't know if it was subconscious from previous stuff, but when I sat down to do them, I expected you to be higher, and I just ended up with you at 6 in my algorithm, and so I was shocked when that came out. But then looking at yours, you had yourself at 6. So just kind of what's going through your mind being at 6?
Yeah, it's a record thing. I mean, so I am second in points for. That should probably count for something, but I'm also second in points again, so that has been just a luck thing that's hit me. Putting Ty above myself, he's undefeated. It's understandable. I got to put Boyer above me. He just beat me. And then everything else, when you look at the rosters themselves, Jake and Frank do have better, as on paper, better looking teams. Granted, I perform better just a few weeks. Could be higher, but as a 1-2 team, I don't feel like I have the right to put myself in the top 5, despite the fact that we really haven't done much wrong. The records are still going to show for themselves. So I think it's fair. Hopefully we can, once we get to 500 this week, maybe. And as long as it's not a dud week in its entirety, I can put myself in the top 5.
Yeah, well said. And then in one of the funniest moves of the week, Matt, who dropped to 0-3, moved up 2 spots in our power rankings from 9 to 7. Again, right there with you, Andy. I imagined having Matt just looking at it on paper. I imagined having him at 9, and then algorithm came out. I had him at 7, so I was absolutely shocked when I had him there.
A winless team moves up 2 spots.
Drew putting him at 8. Drew, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I don't understand how Matt's above me after he's 0-3 and I beat him, but we're here. We're here, man.
Yeah, I don't understand either. Looking at it on paper now, or
the math
rather
is not bad. These power rankings, the math does not turn out.
No, but here's where we're at. And then Beav with himself at 6. Beav, if you don't mind, I'm gonna speak for you on this one, and if anything I miss, you feel free to fill that in at the end. But I had you at 9, which would be the lowest of the power teams. I had Luke at 8 because he just beat you. Now, granted, were there technicalities? Yes, there probably were. But like Andy mentioned with Ty, Luke is 3-0. Whether it's a honorable 3-0 or not, he is 3-0. And the CeeDee Lamb and Mike Evans injuries hitting the CD potentially hitting the IR, or was that official? I'm not sure, so sorry about that. And then Evans, the quad or the hamstring, whatever it was, that's going to be a lingering issue. And so those are 2 integral pieces you're going to be missing, especially CD. Your best player, take a hit like that. I just had to drop you until I can see what the guys you're putting in to replace them do. I'm not going to move you any higher than 9.
No, and that's respectable. I don't blame you for doing that. I just have a lot of praise in my team and a lot of faith. I got Wade week 5, so I'm looking to beat Ty this week. That puts me at 3-3, and then we go into week 6, I believe, and we play Boyer, which will be a good matchup. They're saying CeeDee's only going to be out for 4 weeks, and Evans is about 2 to 3 weeks. So I could get Evans back for Boyer, but probably not, which is okay. But yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm not gonna lie. I think Henderson's after that disaster in New England last weekend. I think he's gonna be the RB1 this week. So I'm hoping for a big game for him this week, and I think it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, and then falling in right with the power rankings that make no sense. An 0-3 team up 2 spots. A 3-0 team moves down a spot to number 9. Luke Hunley and Hunley's Hicks dropping to number 9. Andy and Drew down at number 9.
This is just fatigue. Hand up. This is on me. I just was used to putting this as my slate, my rankings here. Especially, I can't even believe I was too lazy to swap Brady and Dade. That truly, actually, no, I'm standing by that. I'm going to stand by it because of Trey Tucker.
I drank the Trey Tucker Kool-Aid. That is the. Yeah. I was literally.
Yeah. No, I'll backwalk myself there. No, I'm not regretting that at all. That's
on my notes. On my notes for why I have Dade over Brady, I literally have Trey Tucker Kool-Aid. I drank the Trey Tucker Kool-Aid. I'm putting Dade there. What I saw from Trey Tucker this week, I expect it, or last week, I expect it this week against the Bears. So that was my reasoning for Dade jumping Brady.
Okay, let me hop in here real quick just to clarify why I put Luke at 9 again. He's beat Jack Bauer, who has the worst team in the league. No offense, Jack, if you watch this.
Well, you have Jack at 13, so Wade must be worse.
Oh, Wade, whatever. And he has played Dade, who just beat Brady off the Trey Tucker thing.
And he's about to be Matt this week.
Yes, he is. 2 terrible teams in this league Luke's beat, and he beat me this week for having 3 of my guys handicapped. So there you have it.
While all those things may be true, it does sound like his record is 3-0, which is hard to deny because no matter how you win, as Andy always likes to say when one of us complain about our points underperforming, doesn't matter how you win, just matters that you won. And I think that perfectly explains Luke's team. I mean, if he has technicality wins all the way to a championship, what the hell are we going to do about it?
Belt, your carrying of the belt reigns forever. So
yep, and so and then contrary to I should have never said this, but contrary to everything we've been saying all year about the bottom 5 never changing, here we go with change, and with Dayton Brady. I think I can confidently say, though, this time for real, that Crook, maybe Jack falls below Wade, but I don't think Crook will ever move from 12. I don't think there's a move Crook can make that will get him above Brady and Dade or below Jack and Wade. So I'm confidently saying that Crook will never drop below 12. Okay, I'm very confident saying that. Other than that, Jack and Wade round out 13 and
Dude,
14.
I just gotta say for our bottom three, what's like what do you even like with your teams right now? Like what do you have to look forward to?
Well, so I did
I
ask
guess with
Cameron
Crook
that.
it's the rookies, but it's like the other
Crook
two.
watches the rookies, but he doesn't. They don't. None of them check the app because there's nothing to look for. They don't care what they're scoring. They just need to make sure they lost. If anyone checks the app the most, it's Jack because every time one of his players scores or does something good, he goes like Torrey Horton the other day. He goes, "Well, Torrey Horton needs to stop playing football." Like he says things like that, so I know he's actively watching. But
Yeah.
I think Crook hate watches every week besides Tyler Warren and Matthew Golden. And then Wade, I mean, every now and then he chirps in with something. He doesn't have anyone, so there's nothing to watch.
What is he? Does he have just his first this year?
No, I think he has his first, and he acquired another first, I think. But he has between from the second to the fourth, I think he genuinely owns 14 or 15 picks.
Holy cow! Oh my
So
god!
Let's
He's
hope Wade does studies up and really is his day to watch is Saturday.
yeah,
These guys need to be watching on Saturday.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what they need.
Not
To do.
they don't care about Sundays. Saturdays
No.
days they need to really be watching in and tuning into. Before we wrap out the show, Beavers segment, the picks of the week. They'll round us out here on the Just Beavin podcast. Wrapping out the show with our picks of the week. JP, how did we do in week 3?
Last week, Andy took under 42.5 in the Vikings-Bengals game. The Vikings covered that themselves with the over. That was an air ball, 0-1. Last week, I took the Bears to cover. I believe it was -1.5 when I gave the pick out. It moved all the way to +1.5. Either way, the Bears absolutely covered that. So that puts us at 1-1. And then Drew took Titans money line, and that was somehow a worse bet than Andy's under, as the Titans looked like the worst team in football outside of the Saints, to put the group at 1-2. Total records: Andy is now 1-2. Drew is now 1-2. I'm 2-1. As a group, we are 4-5 heading into week 4.
All righty, Beav, your show, man. You got 3 minutes. Let's rip it.
Yes, sir. Okay, not too hot week for us, but we're looking to bounce back. JP, I'm gonna throw it to you first. What's your play this week and why?
There's been 2 plays I've been back and forth with in preparing for this. So I'll give out one that I'm not sure of and one that I really like. The Cardinals on Thursday night is the one I'm leaning into. I like Cardinals. Take them on the money line. Hopefully they move to an underdog. I think they win outright either way. My actual play, and this won't be a popular one, I can imagine, but Falcons money line this weekend is an absolute must smash. I absolutely love it. I think this is a total trap game for Washington heading into Atlanta, after Atlanta actually probably looked like the worst team in the league, getting shut out by Carolina. Atlanta money line is my play.
I love it, man. Those are 2 great picks. I'm on both of them. Yak, I'm gonna throw it over to you real quick.
Yeah, I need to win bad, boys. I really do. And I'm going to go with the Rams money line. They're hosting Indy. Indy's 3-0. I just can't see a world where the Colts start off a season 4-0. They're traveling all the way out to the West Coast. And the Rams just played a really good game against the defending Super Bowl champions in the Philadelphia Eagles. They're favored by 3.5. That's a weird spread. I just want to see the ball go through the hoop while making it seem like it's a pick that I don't want to take a super obvious one. I want to try and stay sharp. But in the meantime, money line has to be the play, so I can even up at 2-2. Give me the Rams straight up against those Colts.
Yeah, I love it, Yak. Great. I'm gonna make this quick. I'm like JP. I got one iffy pick and one absolutely lock. My iffy pick is Steelers money line. I just don't understand why they're +2.5 at home going against
It's in
the
Dublin.
Oh, is it in Dublin? That's right. That's right. I still like the Steelers. I like my boy Carson Wentz, but I think Rodgers gets the dub. Uh, my play I'm hammering this week is the Chargers -6. Jackson Dart's first start of his career. At home, he is not covering the spread. He is maybe going to score 10 points this week, and Justin Herbert's going to sling that rock and score about 30 points.
I like it. I think this is a 3-0 week.
I agree. I like it.
I really hope so. Really hope so, boys. Thank you all so much for tuning in to yet another installment of the Just Beavin podcast. We will catch you next week right here, same place, same time.